when you say competition, there might be some people who go, well, wait a second, I like competition.
Right.
It fuels me. It actually helps me embrace being my authentic self. So what would you say to that, giving you that opportunity to respond? Because to some, competition is actually a healthy thing. So how would you respond to that?
Great question. I wouldn't disagree. I guess the question is, where's the intent behind the competition? If it continues to be an outside to in to define self, then as we talked about earlier, it's just an empty void. If that competition can be within self, if I'm competing to be the very best version of myself every day, then I'm no longer outside of who I am. That doesn't mean that I can't get ideas from those around me. It would be egotistical for me, for example, to say, oh, I know everything, and I've experienced everything, and I'm just going to be that. That's not true. So I can still take bits and pieces in understandings and experiences or life lessons from others around me and say, okay, well, they had that experience, and I can honor them for that. And I can say, okay, what did they take from that? And how can I learn from my perspective, my point of view, my version of self? How would I authentically embrace that experience to enhance who I am?
Yeah. So in many ways, it's redefining success and allowing competition to be that inside to out. We talk about it a little bit. I know when we first started out, competition doesn't have to be competing with another person.
Yeah.
Although in a sport or in anything, it may be that you're in that situation where you are competing in that way. But as long as you always look at it as, I'm competing to be better than I was yesterday, and then the natural outcome may be that I end up being the best at what I do, then that's a byproduct of you seeking to be better than you were yesterday. That isn't, I'm out to get that person or be better than that person, because then that creates division,
right?
An unnecessary division. And for many of us, that isn't authentically where it's coming from. That ends up being when we start going outside to in, when ego starts to take over. But if it is that natural outcome of inside to out, where it's I'm seeking to be better each and every day at something I'm passionate about, something that is an authentic part of myself. And I know when we talked to Ale, that was one of the things that she talked about, was in the field of golf. It is a very individualized mental sport, and that's something that you are very well versed in. You were going to go pro at one point in your life. And to be your authentic self, you are never someone who competed. But competition seemed to be thrust on you.
Right.
And so that was part of what created that breakdown. So for anyone who is saying, okay, so I'm defining my authentic self, I'm in a space where competition is part of the field that I'm in, but it doesn't resonate as authentic for me. There is a way to come at competition and have it be something that you can take part in, but not have it be a defining part of you.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
I would. Yeah. I mean, you can still approach competition from that outside in, but not make it be a part of your identity. Because it can serve a purpose, it can have an intention. But when we understand ourselves from this individualized perspective, that it's from the inside to the out, in all honesty, that may fall away, that first part that we just discussed. There won't be a need to compare or anything along those lines. And if you look at some of the best athletes, some of the best companies, just some of the best individuals that are out there, they're always talking about how their focus and even their data-driven focus is on their own numbers. What did they do yesterday? What did they do in the last month? What did they do in the last year? What did they do in the last 10 years? And then creating projections of that self. You know, how can I grow? How can I keep getting, you know, is it 1% better every day? Is it 10% better? Is it 100%? I mean, I don't know. Maybe, who knows?